Welcome to Oxford Preparatory Academy special meeting of the Board of Directors, October 18th, 2017, 6:30 p.m. closed session, 9 o'clock p.m. open session, we hope. Meeting location, Oxford Preparatory Academy, Saddleback Valley Campus, 22882 Lamont Drive, Lake Forest, California, 92630. And our teleconference location, hello everyone, Oxford Preparatory Academy, South Orange County Campus, 23000 Via Santa Maria, Mission Viejo, California, 92691. The public, including the public attending a teleconference location, are invited to address the board regarding items listed on the agenda. Comments on an agenda item will be accepted during consideration of that item. So prior to consideration of the turn, in the case of a closed session item, please turn in comment cards to the board secretary prior to the item you wish to speak on. A call to order. Raymond Jackson, treasurer.
Here.
Albert Diaz, secretary.
Present.
Joseph Haney, vice chair.
Present.
And Sandra Garner, chair, present. Pledge of Allegiance. Will you all please rise? Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda for the special board meeting for October 18th, 2017. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Public announcement of reason for closed session. Public employment appointment, title Executive Director, Government Code 54957. Title Interim Managing Director, Government Code 54957. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D, subsection 2, two matters. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D, subsection 4, one matter. Do we have any comment cards?
Yeah, do you want to read the little spiel about that? For the comment.
Yeah, remarks for closed session items shall be limited to no more than 3 minutes. Please turn your comment card into the board secretary prior to the agenda item.
We have 4.
Okay.
First is Brandy Matthews.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Brandy Matthews. I have 3 kids, right there. And we currently attend the SOC campus. In lieu of the news of Mr. Crow's resignation, I would like to suggest that there is one logical candidate. In the survey that was sent out about what parents are looking for in an executive director, parents stated that they wanted someone who lived in Orange County, had a background in education, district knowledge and relationships, and know the ins and outs of OPA and our charter. I believe the only logical candidate would be Denise Pasco. Please consider putting her in this role. We believe in her and trust her, and we need someone who can start right away and will have no learning curve. Our organization is complicated, and it would take an outsider a long period of time to come up to speed. We don't have time to waste. On another note, I know you've been interviewing for a CFO position. I hope that you are making your final decision tonight and will be making an offer to whatever individual you choose very soon. Time is of the essence. Like you stated before in a previous meeting, we need to start checking boxes. If you will, checking boxes to show that we as an organization are making the changes requested by the district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Naz Najami.
Hello.
Hi, Naz.
Hi. So I'm part of the Parent Advisory Board and over at SOC, and after reading what happened today with Mr. Crow stepping down, I'm concerned for the future of both our campuses, and I'm very concerned as to where our paths are going to go, and I would like to make a recommendation for the parents at our school to have someone who's had this experience, who has great relationships with our authorizers, and I really would hope you guys would consider Denise stepping in again and bringing us to a point where we can fight for our schools, because it doesn't look good, and I'm really concerned. And it's not just our school, it's also your school, and the amazing families from Chino who are now going to our school, who are traveling an hour every day and looking at their families and their kids who aren't doing well over there, and they're doing well in our school, and they're not doing good over there because of the Chinos. They were fine when it was over. But, you know, they're doing great with the Opa family thing, and we just really want to make sure that they don't miss out a second time. I mean, obviously, it's going to suck for all of us, for our kids losing, but this will be the second time that all of those families are going to be displaced again. So please, please consider the future of all of our kids and both of our campuses. Thanks.
Thank you.
Angela Williams?
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
Good. Obviously, I'm no longer a parent at OPA, but still, it's very important to me because I have lots of friends that need this school. It's a huge reason why I stay involved and do the things that I do and the research that I do on things so that we're all up to speed with it. In light of everything that's gone on, I'm just struggling with the fact that it's the same direction constantly to the old ways of OPA. And it's Sue Roach that failed all of these schools and has failed everybody. But we're failing too when we're following in the same footsteps and the same actions. I don't know if it's the advice of Procopio because that was a prior issue that worked with them. I don't know what it is. But I'm watching division between two campuses, that the same thing that they tried to do with us in Chino, and there should have never been that. I'm just watching the same pattern over and over again. And the only way these schools are going to make it is with leadership. And I have not yet seen any action towards leadership. You guys made sure right away you solidified something for Chino to make sure they had something in place, possibly a new school, which, amen. I pray to God they get something good. Because I want the same thing for our campus when it closes for all the people I know that need the school. The leadership is the big deal. And you guys need to bring a leader in that has no affiliation with the old OPA ways. It has nothing to do with Chino ways. It has nothing to do with anything but the old ways of OPA. Because the old ways of OPA gave us no curriculum for 2 years. The old ways of OPA did not support the staff. The old ways of OPA did not encourage everything to be the way that it should be. It encouraged one person to be corralled with a bunch of yes people. And we have to separate from that. I feel like we traded one group of yes for another group of yes under this leadership. So the executive director needs to have the knowledge and the background of our school and the knowledge and the background of education, in addition to the fact that they cannot have affiliation with the old ways because you guys keep doing the same thing and it's not working for us. They're going to shut down Saddleback. They're going to shut down SOC, and everyone can be politically correct about it, but that's what it is. They've already shut down Chino.
Time. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what? For my extra 3 minutes before, I'll take 6 if I need to.
Katie Booth?
Do we have a school shutting down?
No.
Hi, I wasn't planning on doing this, but first I want to say thank you to Mr. Diaz. He came to our campus and he spoke to the SOC teachers and staff. There was some emotion and there was some frustration around what's happening because we are teachers who, my niece and nephew went to Chino. I have students that went to Chino because I taught there. And I don't want to see that happen to these students. My daughter said, "Mom, why do you have so many meetings?" Because I'm trying to make sure the school stays. Remember, your cousins, they had to leave the school. So, in terms of, this is about public employment, I'm trying to pinpoint where things started to go awry. I know our parents are very vocal because they're very passionate about our school. I feel the vocalization of parents got even more when the decision was made to remove an interim executive director. Now, had that person been incompetent, they probably wouldn't be employed here anymore. Had that person, had there been someone who was more qualified, they would have been hired. And yet, we're left with nothing. And so, I feel like to defend the SLC parents, we now have no leadership. I don't think it was fair what Andrew had to do, honestly. He was left with everything because the interim director was chosen to leave to open SLC. That person was trying to save an organization. Whether or not everyone believes that, that's what I believe. And that's what I saw. And so the decision to remove the interim interim executive director, I would hope would come with a new selection, and it didn't. And I understand you're listening to the parents by you're waiting until we get OC representation. Thank you for listening to the parents, but I feel like the listening is selective. I feel like we listen to the parents at this moment because it works for whatever agenda that we have. And then in the next moment, well, the parents are just whining and crying. I'm just going to push them off for now. And as a teacher, we're scared for our jobs. We're scared for our students. We're scared for what's going to happen to the fate of this school. And I wish none of that on anyone. And so I'm just asking that in your selection of public employment, consider what you had before the noise got crazy. Consider how things were put in place. Relationships were built with Orange County authorizers. Relationships were built with Capo. A list of changes were given. Action, there was people were being proactive in when they were in those positions, and it was a partnership at that time. And I agree they, as a partner, worked together.
Okay, thank
So
you.
keep that in consideration.
Okay, we're going into closed session at 6:40 p.m. We're back in open session at 10:19.
This is your copy.
As you can imagine, it was a very busy night. We have a lot going on with the organization. We have a lot of decisions that we have to make. And they're not always easy decisions. But I do want to start with wonderful news, if I may. And this is our first report out from closed session. Oxford Prep has reached a final agreement and resolution with Turner Agassiz regarding the party's former high school development project. This agreement with Turner Agassiz is the product of negotiation between our organizations, and its terms reflect both parties' desire that Oxford Prep continue to provide its communities with high-quality, tuition-free public education. Oxford Prep has also reached a final resolution with its insurer, Philadelphia Indemnity Insurance Company, regarding Philadelphia's coverage obligations and payment for Oxford Prep's settlement with Turner Agassiz. The net result of these two settlements is that Oxford Prep will pay a total of $7,500 to Turner Agassiz. Can I hear some applause out there? The entirety of that $7,500 payment will come from Oxford Prep's Chino Valley campus funds. Additionally, Oxford Prep's insurer, Philadelphia Indemnity Insurance Company, will pay Turner Agassiz $1 million. This is an outstanding...
That's not us.
That's not us.
That's not us.
This is an outstanding result for our school. We continue to share a common interest with Turner Agassiz in the successful operation of high-performing charter schools like Oxford Prep, and we look forward to the possibility of continuing to work together in some capacity to further that vision. This represents yet another positive step forward for the Oxford Prep organization. Both of these settlement agreements were approved and thereby finalized by Oxford Prep's board in tonight's closed session. By the unanimous vote of its members, Sandra Garner, yes. Albert Diaz, yes. Raymond Jackson, yes. And Joseph Haney, yes. What I'd like to say, this has been a long journey. We have been working on this since January. And I want to say a very special thank you to the previous board and to the current board for their patience, their professionalism, and their discipline to get this done and to get this done the right way, despite all of the internal and external pressure that this board has been under regarding this issue. And I know that everyone has wanted to know. I get that. But when you're in settlement negotiations, you've got to let it happen. And we didn't listen to the noise. We didn't get distracted. We continued to do our job. So as a result of that, we have an incredible result where it's only going to cost Oxford Prep $7,500. Okay? So I know it was tough on you. It was tough on us. but sometimes we have to not share all the information. And I thought hopefully tonight you can see the fruit of that and why sometimes it has to happen. You can't negotiate in public. Okay? So, good result, very exciting.
Is everybody clear that that means this is over?
Yes, this is-
what's going to happen?
We're not
is
the whole
over.
$851.
Right. So we have closed the book. Okay, it is closed. Now, as you know, that Mr. Crow did resign. He took a lot of heat on this too. I think that this and a lot of things that have gone on have taken a toll on him, and he has made the decision, sadly, to move on. But we do have an announcement, Mr. Haney.
Right. So as you know, if you checked your email, I kind of heard some of the scuttlebutt earlier today. Andrew Crow submitted his resignation. We as a board are disappointed to have received that, but we appreciate all that he has done under very difficult circumstances for the Oxford campuses and know that he will be missed. Tonight, though, acting on his strong recommendation, the board has named Dr. Lisa Hall as our interim managing director. This will ensure a smooth transition in our business operations as Andrew works to transition Dr. Hall into the position he previously held. Again, we wish Andrew all the best. Thank him for his service, and if you guys see him, give him a handshake or a hug or a high five and just tell him thanks. He really, truly did a lot for those schools. That's it.
And on that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I
Do I have-
second it with an exclamation point.
Okay, don't even have to ask. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for being patient.